I was wondering if you could just briefly give me some of your reflections on the civil rights movement of 40 years ago.
Well, you know, when you look at conditions in this city on the 5th of October 1968 and compare them with conditions in this city now, there's been a remarkable recovery. And none of that, I'm certain, would have happened had there not been a civil rights campaign. Because it was about as much about civil as it was about social and political rights.
Absolutely.
It was about just the way that people, the majority of people in this city were treated by the unionist minority, the housing conditions that people had to live in, their lack of political rights, there's a huge sense of frustration. And once the civil rights campaign began with very simple demands such as one man, one vote, but then just as importantly, one family, one house, one man, one job, they raised what was wrong with this society completely down all those years. And so on the 5th of October 1968, 400 or 500 of us went to Duke Street, the waterside, to march to the Guildhall to try and demonstrate that the city was for all of us, not just for a select few. And when we were refused that right to march, and when the police behaved as badly as they did, and when that was captured by an RT cameraman, what that brought home to us was that we could take control of our own destiny and we could change things. And now you see in Derry, 40 years on, a place much more at peace with itself, admittedly after 30 years of civic turmoil, but a people who know that they have certain rights and people who are living up to those rights. So what I'm saying is that had there not been the 5th of October march, I don't think that you would have had the same sense of citizens' rights as you have today. You wouldn't have the notion that people had the right to live in the sort of houses that they live in. If you go to the Bogside 40 years ago and look at the housing that people have today, if you look at people's prospects of employment, places like Seagate and all the rest of it, when remember we only had the BSR, which was open for a very, very short time, and where the work belonged just to a woman in the shirt factory. All of that has changed, and all of it has changed because, I believe, of what happened on the 5th of October 40 years ago.
Absolutely. Well, you have a famous man just come and sat down beside you, Mr. John Hume there, a very prominent figure in the civil rights movement as well. I thank you very much, John, for coming and sitting down for a little while in the frame. How do you think today's event is going, John? It's going okay? All right. Well, listen, gentlemen, thank you.
Can I just say a few words?
Please.
You just mentioned that John's sitting beside me. John started it by by organising for housing in the city, by trying to get industry going through setting up a smoked salmon business, by raising the whole issue of the University for Derry, and by showing that you could do these things across the sectarian divide. And those were the predecessors to the 5th of October, and for those reasons, the 5th of October succeeded.